to be a good speaker, to be a great speaker, to be a terrific speaker, you need an MBA and a PhD. Now for the new people, write that down. Would you just write down MBA, PhD? Charlie, write that down for me, would you please? I know, oh, you're a doctorate. You don't need to write it down. You can understand. You remember that. Well, let me tell you what that means. The M stands for motivation. You got to be motivated. You got to want it. You got to want it bad. Everybody repeat after me. Say, I want it. I want it bad. Well, you know, most people don't have that motivation. They really don't care. Where are most people tonight? They're at home. They're in their lazy boy. They're drinking their beer. They're having their chips. They're getting those phone calls. They're trying to fix the toilet so that it'll flush. You know, we should have 5,000 people here instead of 50 people, but you know, most people just don't have that motivation. To be a success, you need to have that motivation. The second thing you need is that B component. You need to have a belief. You need to believe in yourself. There's a little affirmation I've done for a good part of my life, and I'd like you to repeat it after me. Say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to pump yourself up. You've got to feel like you are getting better and better every single day. And finally, part of the MBA formula is you've got to act. Now, my name, my contact information is on the website, and I get all the phone calls, I get all the emails. And I usually get maybe about 4 a month. Usually only about 50% of the people actually show up here. Maybe from that 50%, maybe only another 50% or 25% actually join the club. You've got to act. You've got to take the bull by the horns. You've got to do the things. You know, after you come here, after you join, you've got to not only speak, but you've got to raise your hand. I'm always admire 2 people in the club, especially Adam and Shreya. Adam and Shreya are always volunteering to speak. You're always ready to speak. And so if you're in the club, if you're going to be a Toastmaster, if you're going to be a good, a great, or a terrific speaker, you've got to be willing to speak as much as possible. Speak outside the club, speak in contests. You've got to be speaking as much as possible if you really want to improve. The third part, or the second part of the formula of the PhD is practice. You've got to practice. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, I come to Toastmasters and I see people who are going to give a speech and they are literally writing their speech out as they are, you know, getting ready to give the speech. And that is not the way you want to do it. One of the sort of rules that I have is you need to practice and prepare about an hour for every minute that you're going to speak. So if you got a 7-minute speech, you got to practice and prepare about 7 hours. And that doesn't mean that you're going to put in that 7 hours the day before. You probably need to put it in that 2 weeks. You know, practice and prepare 30 minutes every day for 2 weeks so that you're ready, so that you feel good about that speech, so that you've gone through it, so that you know it, and you really can start build up that confidence. The H stands for help. We all need help. Even Tom Terrific needs help. You can't do it by yourself. That's why we're here in Toastmasters. That's why I love Toastmasters. That's why I've been involved for 30 years. Everybody here knows something. Everybody here is willing to help. That's why we have these evaluations. That's why you go home, if you're a speaker, you got at least 20 written evaluations, 20 ways for you to improve. So if you are evaluating a speaker, don't just pat them on the back. Give them one way that they can improve. Another great way you can improve, especially if you want to be a terrific speaker, is look and see what professionals do. What are the professional speakers doing? You know, there's a lot of tapes out there. There's a lot of videos. You can, get on YouTube, watch the professionals, watch what they're doing. I'm going to use a technique on my closing tonight, something that I borrowed from another speaker. And that's fine. I mean, that's how we learn. We pick up stuff from other speakers. And finally, the last part is the D. You've got to be determined. You can't quit. Shreya won a number of speaking contests, but she finally lost. And I'm sure she was a little bit disappointed. But I mean, I liked her spirit because she was determined. She's not going to quit. She's got a goal to reach the International Speech Contest. Fantastic. Isn't that great? Give her a hand. Yeah. She's determined. In fact, so here's a poem that I like, and it's from that well-known poet Calvin Coolidge. It says, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated failures. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you want to be a good speaker, a great speaker, a terrific speaker, get that MBA and PhD formula. Now, since especially we have some brand new speakers here, I want to do a little exercise. So if everybody could stand up just for a minute. And I want you to repeat after me with emotion and conviction. I believe I can be a good speaker. I believe I can be a great speaker. I believe I can be a terrific speaker. Now shake hands with the person on your right and left and say, you're going to be a terrific speaker. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Amen.